To criticize the president, any elected official, Rabbi Braun could back me up on this, he's involved as the Askin, is normal. You hold yourself out on the public. Even Mordechai was a roif. You won't get unanimous 100%. However, there's a difference between fair criticism and blatantly using your hatred towards a person to attack them all the time. And it's unfair that each time the president says something for the Jewish community, where 85% of American Jews have twisted Rahmanis. We call them progressive people, because they're twisted Rahmanis. They fatarsh the Yisros. And with that doing chesed, they become a shigga liberal. So we put out a statement showing respect and appreciation to the president. The issue of measles. Hashem Yishmar, watch out with children, the vaccination issue. So one of our new chaverim is Harav Aharon Glad, Harav Aharon Dr. Glad, who's the CEO of South Nassau Community Hospital. He also is a Muslim from Rav Wosner, and is one of the few Rabbanim who, besides being a Moira Hayra, is also a physician. As a physician, he comments so often on medical issues, and he spoke about the need to vaccinate and the need to take care of it. So the Igud,
as we're talking about, we're trying to do the Farsi and the Bezdin a little bit more. It's getting more and more active, and we're looking to bring the Bezdin to communities to explain about Bezdin Tzedek on Shabbos. If you need a Bezdin, anybody in your entire community needs a Bezdin, please ask the Igud or Konan. It's a Bezdin Tzedek, and as you know, we have some wonderful, great news out of
I'm asked, why does it say Litzonei Avram? The Eila told us Yitzchak ben Avram, Avram holiness Yitzchak. And they looked exactly alike, and that the Litzonei Ador, the people, the scoffers, or the cynics, whatever word you want to use, would say it wasn't Avram Avinu, it was Avimelech. The whole world knew that Avram was not the problem. The whole world knew that it was Sarah. Avram took Hagar, she became pregnant right away. She became right away. So the problem was Sarah. So what do you mean to say that Avram couldn't have them? So Rav Pam was troubled with the lashon of Leitzonei Hadar. Just say that the people would say, why did you have to say cynics and scoffers? So what he basically said was a very important yesod, that in our attitudes as we're mashpia to our tzibur, our talmidim, our talmidos, our kehilos, and to everything that we do, Rav Pam said that the teva of the world is that we become revisionist historians. Revisionist historians mean, if I may quote Lahavdil, Eisenhower, when he was the general, he was the most powerful general, it was the World War, and he was directing all the traffic. When he came in 1945 and it was over, he ordered all his troops that they had to go and take pictures, and he waited there. They said, well, we're going to have to go over here, it'll take us 12 hours. We are waiting, we're not going anywhere. Until they brought film, and they brought cameras, and they brought video, whatever they had. He said, we're not leaving. And when they started to bury some of the people, he insisted that the American troops go into the graves and help them with the burial. So they asked him, like, what is this? So he said, because. You know, and as president, they didn't consider him the biggest soch. Hey, he's always busy golfing, and he's busy this, he's that. But the truth is, he was no fool. He said it's going to come a time in 60 years, in 80 years, in 100 years, that the cynics of the generation of the world will say there was never such a thing.
They're already saying it.
They're saying, well, it's 60 years later, 70 years later. You know? And I want the proof in the pudding. So Rav Pam explained that the Chazal say, Leitzonei Ador, because a normal person, which today normal person today could deny the Holocaust? There are still plenty of people walking around with the numbers on their arm, and with who could even dare to say such a thing? Yet, Britain had a vote in the parliament to keep the Holocaust studies inside the textbooks in the public schools in England, because the Muslims were demanding, you're teaching fiction. This never happened. Would you have to give it over to the next generation? So you see, cynicism is alive and well. And the reason I quote Rav Pam is because we have to be able to strengthen the emunah and the bitachon of each one of ourselves and each and every one with whom we come into contact, because with the emunah and bitachon, that's how you go out from any type of given situation. And the cynicism and the sfeikis and the amalek and all that stuff creeps in when somebody gives a little bit of that twist of cynicism. The Rav is giving his drasha, and the back row in the shul, who's not listening to a word, that they pick up on one thing, and they're busy making fun. And that's the biggest destruction. These cynics, Rav Pam said, do more harm than the open koifer that we know is a koifer and we stay away. But those pull out the carpet from under. In the yesod, the foundation, the backbone of the emunah that we as a Klal Yisrael, what else do we possess? If it wasn't tzaddik be'emunah, so if it wouldn't be for that, we wouldn't be around. Anyway, I want to say to each and every one of you, l'chaim, a guten chodesh, habo aleinu l'toiva.
The mind of Igud Rabbanan is, you look around, alle b'nei Torah, alle, you doing Torah, no, we mag this Torah. I want to say one word. We have to know one thing we have a Torah, you so it go, it's gedait to hear it. It's a Gemara. Torah heish toiv, not tuv leivov. Why? This I never said. I know. I listened to my drusha to make sure I didn't. Yeah. How did you check? Imitiv leivov, but I saw it later. I would like to ask you, if you would tell me what's the best Zach in the land? Torah. So how could the Gemara say Tiv leivov, Torah no nikre tuv leivov? A Gemara. So that some soitis says a beautiful shout. And this we know with Igud Rabbanan does in other places. I'll give you a motion. A kid eats an ice cream. Or us, if you're hungry, the normal people, that after you finish eating, you're full, it's normal. So normal. A kid has an ice cream, he finishes the ice cream, and we also, I eat, if I'm hungry, I don't feel good. If I eat, I feel better. So after you finish eating, you say a b'tiv leivov. Baruch Hashem. But Torah, there's no such thing that you finish. You can never say, Baruch Hashem, Igud Rabbanan and andere, one asife, noch asife, every day, when we're doing the tithing, man von our koil, with den Teures and Sachen and andere Sachen. You don't stop a minute. Negate, you can't say, Baruch Hashem, tiv leivov.
Some people are saying, where are the Orthodox when this happened? And the answer is, the Orthodox, the Frum Yidden, people are Shem Torah Mitzvahs, are together with all the Yidden of Pittsburgh who are in the Tree of Life synagogue. We're together with them. Mashahen came 4 years ago when 4 Kedoshim were hacked to death, Rahman al-Islam, in Ha'anayf. We didn't hear the collective voice of American Jewry calling out, how could this be that in a sacred place like a shul, tzaddikim, Kedoshei Elyon were hacked to death on a Sunday morning? Remember 4 years ago? Yeah. And no one spoke about it. The Jewish organizations were quiet. They didn't make a tumult. So we're living in interesting times. Everything is hidden. People are not able to point and to say, this is what I should do, and this is what I should not do. And that's why we need Talmidei Chachamim Rabbanim Ha'ena Ya'eda to bring out what we need to do at a time like this. My dear friends, there's a mahalach. There's something going on in our world. Did you ever hear that there would be a question? We spoke about this last year on Chodesh Kislev, about the Kedusha of the Kaisel HaMaravi. Was there ever a question about the Kedusha of Yerushalayim HaKadosh? How is it possible that when you bring together hundreds and even thousands of Jewish people who are leaders of American Jewry, of North America, you bring them to Tel Aviv and you forget about Yerushalayim HaKadosh? We know that others pointed this out, and we know that if Emet Hashem, when the Igud HaRabbanim will have a delegation to go to Eretz Yisrael, we're not going to be going to Tel Aviv, we're going to be going to Yerushalayim HaKadosh. So we have to stand guard, not only on the Kedusha of the Harabayas, and the Kedusha of Yerushalayim HaKadosh and the Kaisel, we also have to show support for the Rabbanis HaRashis, the chief rabbinate of Eretz Yisrael. I know that amongst our group in Igud HaRabbanim, which is a very large tent, everyone has their different opinion about the Rabbanut HaRashis. But the fact is, they're doing an extremely important job. And the Igud HaRabbanim has a history of working with Harav Uziel alav Shalom, working with, of course, the Rabbi Eliyahu, Mordechai Eliyahu, Zecher Tzaddik U'Kadosh L'Vrach, and all the chief rabbis, Ashkenaz, Rabbi Avadia, all of them, the chief rabbis, Ashkenaz and the Sfadim, didn't make a difference for the Igud. The difference was that the Igud could make a difference by supporting the Rabbanis HaRashis. We gave out a number of statements this year. The Zohar HaKadosh says, Vai le'udnin, woe to the person who says things and the ears are not listening. Baruch Hashem, because of our administration that we have, Reb Mendel Narozhnik, Rabbi Shmerla, my Chaverim in the Presidium, and the Chaverim, we have now a voice, and people are looking and checking out our website, Igud, and people are seeing that we are quick to respond to situations, and we have the guidance. Chayel, we spoke about the fact that there are a number of Jewish organizations that claim that they are the voice of American Jewry. I have to tell you, they are not only not the voice of American Jewry, but let's go and take a look and see. The situation in Hanof, no voice. The situation of the bombs falling from Gaza into Sderot, not a peep. What happened to all the Jewish organizations in America to speak up on behalf of all the Jewish people who live in the south of Israel? Not a word. They don't see Einayim Lahem, V'lo Yiru. Aznayim Lahem, V'lo Yishmo. Lagleim, V'lo Yahalechu. Yadayim, V'lo Yamishu. Pick up your hand, pick up a phone, make a demonstration, help the people of Eretz Yisrael, support Netanyahu, support the Jewish people. Everything became today politics. Ad kidei kach, when even there was this terrible, terrible thing that took place in Pittsburgh, the American Jewish newspapers were filled with politicizing the death of innocent Jews in order to score a political point. Now let's understand something. I know I'm being taped. One of the biggest operatives in the former administration of President Obama becomes the head of ADL. You ever hear of a conflict of interest? You ever hear of a conflict of interest? The person is not able to see, is not able to hear, is not able to act, is not able to do. My dear friends, who got elected in Charlottesville? A Republican. What were the Jewish people, the people who were very much on the left, screaming? That all the right-wing Nazis, Yamach Shemam v'Zechram, are in Charlottesville. And as soon as the president was elected, they were always looking for an Alilas Dam to hurt the president of the free world. I don't understand where such chutzpah comes from. I don't understand where such audacity, where does it come from? This is not the audacity of Bnei Yisrael, Rachmanim Gem Lechasadim. This is more like Amalek speaking. You want to gain a political victory on the backs of 11 Jews who were killed in Pittsburgh? You want to say to the president who comes to show solidarity with the Jewish people that he's not wanted and he's not invited? Who educated these people? We Rabbanim need to have Yireh Shamayim, but it has to be based, as Rabbi Balkany spoke, on Chesed. If we have Eil Tolis Yitzchak ben Avraham Heilu des Yitzchak, has become Litzanei Hadar. The world is in a miasma. It's in a Litzanei Hadar. There was an election last night. The Litzanei Hadar is saying this, and the Litzanei Hadar is saying that. What are we saying? HaKadosh Baruch Hu is elected by us every morning when we daven. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is elected by us every day when we daven Mincha and Ma'ariv. Moida ani lefanacha melech chai v'kayam. This is our election. But the Litzanei Hadar make it very difficult. The good that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is giving us, what are the Litzanei Hadar doing? That this is not an act of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, who should be the President of the United States, who should be good to Eretz Yisrael and good to the Jewish people. The Litzanei Hadar is saying, Me Avimelech. It's all politics. Chmanu Litzlan. Every one of us knows that for 8 years, Eretz Yisrael and the Jewish people were in mortal danger by the person sitting in the White House, doing anything and everything with Iran, who say they want to destroy us. And this individual, this president, HaKadosh Baruch Hu should take good care of him. Amen. And give him health. And give him the wisdom to continue to lead. To overcome the Litzanei Hadar who politicize anything and everything that's holy with the Jewish people, that's good for the Jewish people, that nurtures the Jewish people, that uplifts the Jewish people. And then we'll conclude with one more idea.